Welcome back into the studio. So during this series, I'm going to be showing you in real time the deck of mixed media playing cards that I built during Crafty Hope Prompts. This was a prompt challenge that Hope over at Crafty Hope did during the year 2022 and 23 for 52 weeks. And at the time she did the prompt challenge, I played alongside, building my own playing card deck using the prompts that she had for each week. I aired these originally on my Instagram feed only, and in the vertical, of course, for reels, and sped them up 350 to 400% with no voiceover. But for this series on YouTube, I'm featuring that original footage, but in the original way that I filmed it, which was in the horizontal. And I'm slowing it way down to real time and adding my voiceover commentaries on why I did something, what I was thinking of, etc. I will be listing both Hope's prompt deck build as well as her project videos. So keep an eye out for those. They will be listed below in the description box, but I will also put links for them here within the video. All right, so we are on week 4 and the prompts are feather, watercolor pencils, and mark making. So I am going to start like I traditionally do start, and that is with laying down some collage. So most of the collage items I use throughout this whole series really is I'm trying to use stuff out of my bits basket. So this is a basket that I have under my art table. When I'm done with the project and there's anything that looks interesting, I always put it into this basket. And then I try and use that whenever possible. These little orange pieces, yellowish orange pieces, are from some remnants of some jelly printing that I did.
Watching you was such a thrill. All that I could do was laugh.
Alright, so I pulled out some Liquitex heavy body paint. This is acrylic paint in Payne's Gray, and I'm just really watering it down with this flat brush. And then I'm just kind of splatting it across the front of the card, just haphazardly. Now you'll notice here, once I'm done with that with the brush, then I kind of flip it over to take some off, and I really liked the darkness, and so I went ahead with my finger and added a little bit more of that Payne's gray back onto the front of the card. All right, and now that that is good and dry, I'm gonna go ahead and trim that out. You're gonna see I'm gonna really ponder this for a little while and kind of move directions on it and try and figure out what my next step is gonna be. So after all that contemplation, I decided to go in with some of the Paper Artsy Fresco Finish chalk acrylics in butternut and use the feather as a mark making tool. So I dip that feather into the paint once I kind of get it watered down a little bit, and then come back to the card and actually make marks on the surface. So I'm going to get that good and dry, and then I'm going to come in with these watercolor pencils and do some additional mark making in a couple different colors here. And then I'm going to come in with a water brush and activate those watercolor pencils. After I had watered that down, it just lightened way too much. So I can come back in here with a Stabilo All pencil in black and activate that as well. And you'll notice here, I'm really working the edges of that, adding lots of water, trying to get that to bleed out a bit. And once I'm satisfied with that, then I'm gonna go ahead and get that dried up. All that I could do is laugh. I couldn't hold it back. I couldn't hold it. I couldn't hold it back. We were running on that open shore. No saddle on his back. I never felt so free. All right, so I'm going through these Tim Holtz, I think they're Ideology chipboard sentiments, trying to find one that I think will work for this. And I'm actually going to pull off half of the chipboard because it's very thick and I just don't want as much coming off the front of this card. So I do this a lot where I pull part of that cardboard off. And then I'm going to come in with some distressed archival ink and spice marmalade and edge it up a bit before I decide what else I'm going to do for this focal point.
Gilded forest path. When an ecstasy came over me, and all that I could do was laugh. All that I couldn't hold it. I couldn't hold it back. I couldn't hold it back. How could I hold it? I couldn't hold it back. From our head to toes, we are standing in the overflow. And there's more I know when we're standing in the overflow.
Alright, so I've colored some of this gauze with some of the Payne's gray and getting that good and dry, and then I'm going to come in with some additional gauze which I'm leaving in the white to create the backdrop of this focal, or these words at least, and create the focal as a whole.
All that I could do is laugh. All that I could hold it back. I couldn't hold it. I couldn't hold it. I couldn't hold it back. I couldn't hold it back. I couldn't hold it. I couldn't hold it back. I couldn't hold it back. I couldn't hold it. I couldn't hold it back.
Alright, I kind of have decided on placement. I'm going to come in and kind of mark where I want it to go with a Stabilo that I will eventually use as a shadow underneath it, and get it adhered with some Fabri-tac.
When I saw you walking down that hill, head high and shoulders back, watching you was such a thrill. All that I could do was laugh. I couldn't hold it back. I couldn't hold it. I couldn't hold it back. We were running on that open shore.
So I'm going to come in and finish this off with some of that Spice Marmalade Distress Archival ink around the edges and call it good.
All that I could do was laugh. I couldn't hold it back. I couldn't hold it. I couldn't hold it back. I couldn't hold it back. I couldn't hold it. I couldn't hold it back. There I lay beneath the canopy on the